Have you ever felt a quiet shift deep within? A subtle change so soft you almost doubted it was real? As if life itself whispered to you, inviting you to pause and listen. Tonight, we enter a space where thoughts, energy, and awareness merge into a single field, a place where reality doesn't happen to you, but through you. So, take a deep breath and let the noise of the day dissolve. This is your moment to settle, to allow your body and mind to rest in stillness. Before we begin, make sure you're comfortable. Maybe lying down, maybe resting in your favorite chair. Check in with yourself. Relax your shoulders, soften your breath, and allow the weight of the day to gently fade away. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so we can share more stories like this, ones that invite you into deeper awareness and peace. Now, let us step into this unfolding moment together, where synchronicity dances quietly and every breath carries you closer to remembering who you truly are. Have you ever paused long enough to notice the invisible patterns moving quietly beneath the surface of your life? At first, it feels like nothing has changed. The streets outside are the same, the faces around you familiar. Yet deep within, there's a sense that the fabric of reality itself is softening, rearranging, realigning. This is where transformation begins, not in lightning flashes or grand revelations, but in whispers subtle enough to miss unless you learn how to listen. You sense it before you see it. A deeper rhythm calling you inward, as though life itself is drawing your awareness back to something you've always known, but somehow forgotten. It doesn't arrive with certainty. It arrives with a question. What if there's more to reality than what your mind can measure? Science and ancient wisdom, once divided by centuries, now converge on the same truth. Beneath every thought, every breath, every heartbeat exists an ocean of energy, a field of infinite possibilities waiting to be shaped by the signal you emit. Physicists call it the quantum field. Mystics call it the living fabric of creation. Either way, you are not separate from it. You are woven into it, your awareness acting as both witness and architect. And here's the quiet secret. The moment your internal frequency shifts, the field begins to reorganize around you. Life subtly recalibrates itself, not through effort, but through resonance. You find yourself drawn to certain paths, certain people, certain moments, as though reality itself has learned your name. It begins gently. You start noticing synchronicities. More often, tiny events that seem random on the surface, but carry a strange sense of meaning. A thought arises, and within hours, you encounter it mirrored in the world. You think of someone, and their message arrives. These aren't accidents. They are signals. Markers that your inner landscape is shaping the outer one. But this shift isn't only happening outside. It begins within your own nervous system. One day you realize that your body is breathing differently. The tightness you once carried in your chest softens. Your shoulders settle without conscious effort. Your breath grows deeper, slower, more natural. You didn't force this calm. It came as a byproduct of alignment. Your thoughts, once noisy and restless, begin to create pockets of stillness between them. In those pauses, a deeper intelligence emerges, one that isn't born of logic, but of knowing. You feel less reactive when things don't go as planned. Situations that used to trigger stress now dissolve before they fully arrive. It's as though your awareness has widened, giving you more room to move inside yourself. And yet, this evolution can feel disorienting at times. Old relationships may shift. Familiar environments that once brought comfort can suddenly feel heavy or chaotic. You might find yourself stepping away from conversations filled with gossip or fear, not out of judgment, but because they no longer resonate. This isn't detachment. It's realignment. Some people around you sense the difference immediately. Some are drawn closer, curious about the calm they feel in your presence. Others may grow distant, unable to understand the silence replacing old patterns. And that's okay. The field you're tuning into doesn't require anyone else to change for you too. Remain aligned with every small act of awareness. You stabilize your signal. And as that signal becomes steady, life begins to respond in kind. Decisions feel lighter, less entangled with doubt. You no longer chase validation because you sense in your bones, in your breath, that you are already connected to something larger than approval. This is the quiet turning point, when you stop trying to control outcomes and begin allowing life to move through you instead of around you. It's not passivity, it's participation on a deeper level. The kind where intuition guides more than strategy, and synchronicity feels like a language spoken directly to your heart. You begin to notice patterns where, before, there was only chaos. Ideas arrive when you need them most. Challenges reveal themselves as hidden invitations. The very fabric of your reality feels alive, as though responding not to what you say you want, but to what you truly hold in your energy. And here lies the deeper mystery. Your emotions are not simply reactions to life. They are instruments shaping it. When your body vibrates with gratitude, the field reflects coherence back to you. When you soften into compassion, even for yourself, you notice the resistance around you dissolving too. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, your inner world becomes the tuning fork for the outer one. This is only the beginning. Part 1 ends here, at the threshold where awareness awakens, where whispers become currents, and where your deepest alignment begins to take shape. As you cross deeper into this unfolding awareness, you begin to notice something extraordinary. The more you relax into presence, the more life seems to flow around you with effortless precision. It isn't that challenges disappear, it's that you meet them differently. Where once there was resistance, there's now an openness, a quiet confidence that whatever arises carries meaning. Even if you can't yet see it, the quantum field responds subtly at first, then more clearly, like ripples forming into waves. Situations that once felt stuck begin to loosen. People you thought were lost to time reappear in unexpected ways. A long-awaited opportunity presents itself, not because you chased it, but because you've tuned into the frequency where it naturally lives. This is where coherence deepens. Your heart, mind, and body begin to operate less like separate systems, and more like a single, harmonious field. When science studies this state, it measures something remarkable. As the rhythms of the heart synchronize with the patterns of the brain, the nervous system stabilizes, creating a natural sense of safety. In that safety, the deeper intelligence of your awareness emerges, and when it does, the external world starts reflecting it back. Sometimes it arrives as synchronicity, so precise it defies probability. You think of someone, and they call. A book catches your attention at the exact moment its message is relevant. You overhear a conversation that answers a question you hadn't yet spoken aloud. These moments are the field whispering, "I'm here, and I'm listening." You may begin to sense energy itself differently, not as a concept, but as a felt reality. Walking into certain environments, your body knows before your mind does whether you belong there. Around some people, you feel lighter, as though your entire system exhales. Around others, you sense contraction, an intuitive pull to step back. This isn't judgment. It's alignment. Your nervous system has become finely tuned, capable of reading the language beneath words. But there's something else too, an unexpected softness entering your life. For so long, you've carried tension in ways you didn't realize. Muscles braced without awareness, breath held in invisible anticipation. In this emerging coherence, the armor begins to dissolve. You notice your jaw unclenching, your shoulders dropping, your heartbeat steadying. Without trying, you return to a state your body has always known but forgot. Regulation, safety, presence. Emotions once buried deep begin to rise, sometimes gently, sometimes like waves. A memory surfaces and brings tears without warning. Grief you thought you'd already processed comes back, but this time it feels different, less sharp, more like release. These are not setbacks. They are integrations. Your system reorganizing itself as you shed patterns no longer needed for survival. And something unexpected happens here. Compassion grows. At first, it's for yourself, recognizing the weight you've carried silently for years. But then it expands outward, softening how you see others. You begin to notice that everyone, every stranger, every friend, every voice crossing your path is also moving through invisible battles. Many they don't yet have. Language 4. This shift doesn't make you passive. It makes you kinder. Your relationships change in surprising ways. Some deepen quickly, as if accelerated by unseen forces. Conversations reach levels of vulnerability that once felt impossible. Shared silences become as meaningful as words. With others, however, distance arises naturally. Old dynamics built on fear, comparison, or control begin to dissolve. It's not rejection, it's resonance recalibrating itself. This is where the paradox of transformation reveals itself. The more you release your grip on control, the more control you seem to gain. Life meets you halfway, opening doors you didn't know existed. The harder you try to force alignment, the further it drifts. But when you soften, when you listen, when you allow, reality bends with you. And perhaps the most profound discovery comes quietly, almost imperceptibly. You are not who you thought you were. Identity, once fixed like stone, now feels fluid, expansive, more spacious than any label you've worn. You are no longer just the collection of memories and roles you once believed defined you. Beneath them lives something deeper, vaster, unchanging. The awareness noticing it all. This awareness doesn't arrive with effort. It reveals itself when effort dissolves. In those rare moments when thought quiets and time seems to slow, you glimpse it, the space between perception and reaction, the stillness behind the noise. It's here, in this silent witness, that you begin to realize you are not simply living inside reality. Reality is living through you. As part 2 draws to a close, you stand at the edge of a greater unfolding. The patterns are clearer now, the synchronicities louder, the connection undeniable. And yet, something tells you this is still only the beginning, that beyond the soft coherence you've discovered lies an even deeper integration, one where your inner and outer worlds become indistinguishable. As you step deeper into this unfolding awareness, you begin to sense a quiet merging. The edges between you and life blur, and for the first time, you feel reality moving through you as naturally as breath itself. What once felt separate, your thoughts, your emotions, your environment, now begins to operate as a single coherent field. This is not a concept anymore. It's a lived experience. You notice it in the smallest moments. The way your breath synchronizes with the rhythm of the world around you. The way conversations unfold with uncanny timing. The way insights arrive effortlessly, not from thought, but from a deeper intelligence beneath thought. It's as though something vast and ancient has always been orchestrating your life quietly in the background. And now you're finally tuning into its frequency. The quantum field, which once felt abstract, now becomes intimate. You begin to recognize it not as something outside of you, but as something you're immersed in, something you are. Every sensation, every thought, every subtle shift of awareness ripples through this field, reorganizing possibilities, shaping the probabilities of what unfolds next. At first, it's almost overwhelming. The more you notice these interconnections, the more patterns reveal themselves. The stranger part is how effortless it feels. You're not trying to manifest. You're not forcing outcomes. And yet, events seem to align in ways you couldn't have planned. A person you haven't spoken to in years appears at exactly the right moment. A message arrives carrying the answer to a question you hadn't even voiced. Entire pathways open up where once there were walls. And yet, the real transformation isn't in what's happening outside you. It's in how your inner world responds. Fear, once a constant companion, now visits like passing weather, noticed, acknowledged, and released without gripping you. You no longer need to wrestle with every thought or emotion. They move through like clouds drifting across an endless sky. Beneath them, a vastness of your awareness remains untouched that you begin to feel your body differently too, as though it carries an ancient memory you're just beginning to unlock. There are moments when your heart beats slower without reason, when your breath deepens without conscious control. Long-held tension dissolves naturally, like ice melting in the sun. Your nervous system, once wired for survival, begins to reprogram itself for presence. This embodied awakening changes how you relate to others as well. Where you once sought approval, now you sense connection without needing validation. Conversations take on new dimensions. You find yourself listening beyond words, hearing the subtle inflections of energy beneath language. The room feels different when people speak from truth rather than fear. Relationships shift again here, but now with even greater clarity. Those aligned with your evolving frequency seem to arrive effortlessly, as though drawn by something beyond coincidence. The interactions carry depth, presence, and meaning that nourish your energy rather than deplete it. And with those no longer aligned, separation unfolds gently, without resistance or blame. You begin to understand that letting go is not loss. It's allowing space for something new to emerge. Synchronicities now move beyond occasional surprises. They become the natural language of your life. You start living inside them, trusting them, responding to them. The miraculous becomes ordinary. It's as if the field itself communicates directly, guiding you without words, nudging you toward alignment again and again. But this deepening awareness also invites responsibility, not the heavy kind born of fear, but the quiet recognition that your vibration influences more than just your personal reality. Every thought you nourish, every emotion you integrate, every action you take ripples outward, shaping the collective field we all share. You begin to sense the invisible threads connecting your choices to a larger web of existence. Here, identity continues to dissolve, not in a way that erases you, but in a way that frees you. You're no longer defined by the roles you play, the labels you've carried, or the narratives you've been told. Instead, you experience yourself as awareness itself, boundless, spacious, infinite. From this vantage, there's no longer a hard line between self and other. Life becomes less about controlling and more about allowing, less about striving and more about remembering. And yet, within this vastness, something beautifully paradoxical happens. Your actions gain greater clarity and purpose. Freed from constant comparison and doubt, your choices arise naturally, like branches growing toward sunlight. You move not from obligation, but from resonance. Decisions unfolding as extensions of who you already are, not who you're trying to become. There's a profound peace here, but it isn't passive. It's alive, dynamic, responsive. You begin to trust that even challenges carry intelligence within them, each one an invitation to grow beyond the edges of who you thought you were. Fear doesn't vanish, but it loses its grip, replaced by curiosity. What's trying to emerge here? The more you stabilize in this coherence, the more your outer world reflects it back to you. Life begins to feel like a dance rather than a struggle, a co-creation between your awareness and the infinite field surrounding it. Every interaction, every moment, every breath becomes part of this unfolding conversation. And now, As this part of the journey comes to a close, you sense something quietly extraordinary. The field was never separate from you at all. The awareness you sought was always here, in the pauses between thoughts, in the stillness beneath noise, in the rhythm of your own heartbeat. You haven't found coherence, you've remembered it. You've crossed thresholds before, but this one feels different. It isn't about changing your habits, fixing your thoughts, or striving for the future. It's about entering a deeper integration, where awareness no longer visits you in fleeting glimpses, but begins to live through you. Here, the lines between your inner world and the outer dissolve until they move together as one unfolding expression of the same field. This is the moment where subtle shifts become embodied realities. The pauses between thoughts grow wider, and in those spaces, something new awakens, a quiet intelligence that doesn't speak in words, but moves like music beneath the surface. You begin to feel what alignment actually means, not as a concept, but as a state of being. Your breath deepens without effort, your body softens without command, and your awareness expands without trying. The deeper you settle, the more life responds with precision. Entire patterns that once trapped you dissolve, not through force, but because you've stopped feeding them energy. The arguments you no longer enter, the comparisons you no longer make, the battles you no longer fight, these create space for something richer to emerge. That space is coherence, and coherence calls the field into order. The quantum field begins reflecting your state in real time. You notice it in uncanny ways. The chance encounter that opens a path you didn't know you were seeking. The message that arrives exactly when your heart asked for it. The quiet knowing that leads you to say yes or no without hesitation. This isn't coincidence, it's resonance. When your vibration stabilizes, reality begins reorganizing itself around the signal you hold. And yet, this depth doesn't come without challenge. As you shift, anything in your life that isn't in harmony with this new frequency rises to the surface. Old wounds resurface, not to punish you, but to free you. Memories you thought forgotten reappear, sometimes as dreams, sometimes as sensations in the body, sometimes as flashes during quiet moments. This is integration at its core, the past dissolving into presence. You may find yourself pulled inward more often now, craving silence without knowing why. The noise of constant doing begins to feel heavier, while spaces of stillness feel alive, as though awareness itself breathes differently there. You start listening more deeply, not just to people, but to rooms, to landscapes, to your own body. Every pause becomes a doorway into subtle realities you once rushed past. Relationships deepen here too, but in unexpected ways. It's no longer about who stays and who goes, but about energetic matching. Those who resonate with your coherence are drawn nearer, not because of effort, but because alignment speaks louder than words. With others, distance happens naturally, without judgment or resistance. You begin to see clearly. Nothing has been lost. Everything is redistributing itself according to frequency dot, and then the extraordinary happens. Synchronicities no longer surprise you. They become natural, the rhythm of a life attuned to itself. You think of someone, and they text within moments. You voice an intention softly, and circumstances rearrange without struggle. It's as though the field is no longer responding to you. It's responding as you. There is no separation left between observer and observed. Within this merging, identity softens further. You realize you're not just the character within the story. You are also the awareness dreaming the character, the field shaping the dream, and the dreamer witnessing it all. From this vantage, even challenges take on a different meaning. Rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to sense, "What in me is this inviting forward?" Every experience becomes a mirror, showing you the next step toward deeper alignment. You might also notice how creativity flourishes here. Ideas come unbidden, fully formed, like waves rising from an unseen ocean. Solutions to problems appear during quiet walks or moments of rest. Inspiration feels less like effort and more like remembering, as though the answers were always here, waiting for you to notice. The body, too, reflects this deep coherence. Long-held tension begins dissolving in layers, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once. Your nervous system shifts from chronic alertness into regulation. Your breath opens naturally. Your heart rate balances without intervention. Even your sleep feels different, deeper, more restorative, as though your entire system trusts life enough to release its vigilance. And yet, integration also invites vulnerability. There may be days when waves of emotion arise without clear cause, subtle. Grief, old fears, forgotten joys. These aren't regressions. They are recalibrations. Each release is the nervous system reorganizing itself, clearing space for higher states of coherence to stabilize. As you stabilize, you begin to notice something profound. The intelligence of the field seems to move ahead of your conscious mind. Opportunities line up before you ask for them. Conversations unfold at the exact moments they're needed. Even apparent obstacles reveal themselves as catalysts, redirecting you toward alignment with uncanny precision. Part 4 closes at a deeper threshold. The moment you begin living inside the awareness that once felt so distant. You no longer seek connection with the field because you've discovered you are never separate from it. The observer, the frequency, the reality, they are one continuous unfolding, and you are both the dreamer and the dream. You've crossed thresholds before, but this one feels different, softer, quieter, almost unnoticeable unless you listen beneath the noise. Unlike past changes marked by effort, strategy, or discipline, this one unfolds naturally, without forcing. It isn't about controlling your mind, reshaping your habits, or chasing the future. It's about entering a deeper state of integration, where awareness doesn't visit you in fleeting glimpses, but begins to live through you, moment by moment. Here, the edges between you and life blur until they dissolve entirely. Thoughts, emotions, sensations, and the events around you no longer feel separate. They move together, guided by a single unified rhythm, the rhythm of the field itself. And the more you notice it, the more you realize you are never apart from it at all. In these spaces, something subtle but profound happens. The pauses between thoughts grow wider, and within those pauses, you sense an intelligence awakening. It doesn't speak in language. It moves like music beneath the surface, guiding you through resonance instead of reason. You begin to feel what alignment truly means, not as a concept, but as a lived, embodied state. Your breath changes first. Without conscious effort, it deepens and slows, syncing naturally with the rhythms around you. The sway of trees, the hush of night, the silent expansion of your own heartbeat. Muscles soften. Your jaw loosens. Shoulders uncoil their years of quiet tension. In those subtle shifts, you glimpse something extraordinary. Your body remembers how to trust life again. The deeper you settle, the more life mirrors your state. Entire patterns that once trapped you dissolve, not through struggle, but through energy no longer given to them. You no longer fuel arguments you once couldn't resist, comparisons you once clung to, or battles you once fought endlessly. And in the absence of those old reflexes, space opens. A space where new possibilities can emerge effortlessly. That space is coherence. And coherence calls the field into order. The quantum field now reflects your alignment with breathtaking precision. You notice it in small, uncanny ways at first. The chance encounter that leads you exactly where you need to be. The random message arriving just as your heart whispers for guidance. The book you've never noticed before. Suddenly falling from a shelf, containing the one sentence you needed to read. This isn't magic. It's resonance. When your vibration stabilizes, Reality reorganizes itself around your inner signal. Yet this deepening awareness isn't free from challenge. In fact, it invites a more intimate honesty with yourself. As you expand, anything in your life that isn't aligned with this new frequency rises to the surface. Old wounds reappear, asking to be seen. Forgotten memories flash unexpectedly, sometimes during dreams, sometimes during stillness. Patterns rooted in fear, judgment, or shame reveal themselves not to punish you, but to free you. Every resurfacing is an invitation to release, to integrate, to step forward unburdened. You may also find yourself drawn inward more often. The constant hum of productivity, the endless need to do more, begins to feel heavier. In contrast, silence feels alive, almost magnetic, as though presence itself breathes differently there. You start listening differently, not just to people, but to places, to atmospheres, to your own body. There's meaning in the pauses you once overlooked, wisdom in the spaces between words. Relationships evolve here too, but now in a way that feels organic rather than dramatic. You stop holding tightly to who should stay or should go. Instead, you notice the subtle laws of energy at play. Those who resonate with your coherence are drawn nearer without effort, and those who no longer align drift gently away. There's no resentment in this process, only trust. You begin to understand that life is not subtracting, it's reorganizing. And then comes the truly extraordinary. Synchronicities stop feeling like surprises. They become the natural rhythm of your existence. You think of someone, and they call within minutes. A quiet intention forms, and circumstances rearrange themselves as though the universe overheard your unspoken request. Even obstacles transform into unexpected openings, revealing doors you couldn't see before. It's as if the field isn't just responding to you anymore, it's responding as you. With this comes a profound softening of identity. The roles you've worn, the labels you've carried, the stories you've believed about yourself begin to dissolve like mist under sunlight. You realize you are not merely the character living inside the story. You are also the awareness dreaming the character, the field shaping the dream, and the dreamer witnessing it all simultaneously. From this vantage point, life stops happening to you. It begins happening through you. This shift changes how you meet challenges. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to sense, "What is this experience inviting me to discover?" Within myself, frustrations lose their weight. Fear no longer rules your decisions. Even uncertainty becomes less threatening and more like a doorway you've been invited to walk through. Creativity flourishes here in ways you couldn't have imagined. Ideas arrive unbidden, fully formed, as though delivered from someplace beyond. Thought, a problem you've wrestled with for weeks, resolves itself during a quiet walk. Inspiration flows not because you're chasing it, but because you've stopped resisting it. You begin to see that creation isn't something you do. It's something you allow. Your body reflects these inner shifts, layer by layer. Old patterns of stress dissolve like shadows retreating before dawn. The nervous system, once locked in constant vigilance, settles naturally into balance. Sleep deepens, becoming more restorative. Digestion improves. Breath opens. Even subtle aches, the ones you stopped noticing long ago, begin to ease as the body remembers its natural harmony. And yet, with deeper integration comes vulnerability. There will be days when unexpected waves of emotion surface. Quiet grief, forgotten joy, unspoken fears. These are not regressions, they're recalibrations. Every release, every tear, every exhale is the nervous system reorganizing itself, clearing away layers of density so higher states of coherence can stabilize. As this process continues, something remarkable begins to unfold. The intelligence of the field seems to move ahead of your conscious mind. Opportunities arrive before You ask for them. Encounters happen with perfect timing, carrying answers you didn't know you needed. Even apparent obstacles reveal themselves as hidden catalysts, redirecting you toward greater alignment with uncanny precision. And here lies the quiet revelation. You no longer seek connection with the field because you realize you are never separate from it. The observer, the frequency, and the reality itself are revealed as one continuous unfolding. You are the witness, the dreamer, the dreamed, and the field all at once. Part 4 closes at this gateway, the moment where separation dissolves, where awareness stabilizes as embodied presence, and where life stops feeling like something you must manage and begins to feel like something you are. Yet even here, a deeper journey still awaits, learning to live this coherence, to carry it into every breath, every interaction, every quiet moment of becoming God. By the time you reach this space, something profound begins to settle into your awareness. This isn't just a transformation, it's a homecoming. What once felt like an endless search for clarity, meaning, and belonging now dissolves into the quiet realization that you were never lost to begin with. The seeking slows, the striving softens. Life begins to feel less like a puzzle to solve, and more like a song you've remembered how to hear. Here, presence deepens into embodiment. Awareness is no longer just an idea in your mind. It saturates your breath, your heartbeat, the quiet intelligence of your nervous system. Every inhale feels like drawing the universe into you. Every exhale feels like dissolving back into the universe itself. You begin to live coherence rather than chase it. At first, this feels delicate, like balancing on the edge of something too vast to hold. But the longer you rest here, the more natural it becomes. You don't have to force alignment. You are alignment. You don't have to strive for clarity. You become clarity. And without effort, life reorganizes itself around this new stability, revealing possibilities that once seemed out of reach. Synchronicities evolve into something deeper now, less about noticing isolated signs, and more about living inside an ongoing conversation with existence itself. You walk into a room and sense where you're meant to stand without thinking. You meet someone for the first time and feel a recognition that words can't explain. Events line up not by chance, but by design, as though the field has always known your path before you did. But even here, growth doesn't mean bypassing your humanity. Moments of contraction still arise, waves of doubt, flickers of fear, shadows of old narratives. The difference is in how you meet them now. Instead of resisting, you hold space. Instead of collapsing into old patterns, you breathe through them, watching as they dissolve back into the stillness beneath. You realize there was never anything to fix, only experiences to integrate, lessons to embody, and deeper wisdom to remember. This integration reveals itself most vividly in the body. Where before you carried tension like invisible armor, you now sense the body's innate intelligence guiding you toward balance. Breath flows more easily. The heart beats steadily. Even the smallest gestures, the way your hand rests, the way your spine aligns, seem orchestrated by something beyond thought. You aren't trying to control your physiology anymore. It harmonizes itself when your awareness softens into trust. Relationships shift again here, but this time the change carries a different texture, less about who drifts away and more about how you show up. You no longer perform versions of yourself to be accepted. You no longer trade authenticity for belonging. Instead, your presence speaks louder than your words, carrying a silent coherence that others feel before they understand it. Some will be drawn closer, sensing safety and depth in your calm. Others may still pull away, uncomfortable with the silence where old patterns used to exist. Both responses are welcomed without attachment. And with this comes a new dimension of connection, empathy without entanglement. You can hold compassion for others without carrying their pain as your own. You can witness their struggles without collapsing into them. This shift frees you from cycles of emotional exhaustion and opens the door to authentic, spacious relationships grounded in mutual resonance rather than need. The deeper you stabilize here, the more you sense the intelligence of the field in. Motion everywhere. Ideas arrive before you think them. Opportunities align before you seek them. Paths open before you step onto them. There is no sense of chasing anymore. The timing of life reveals itself moment by moment, perfectly attuned to the signal you embody. And then, something remarkable begins to unfold. Your sense of purpose stops feeling like something external defined and becomes something internal. To express, purpose no longer hides in the distance. It radiates naturally from your alignment. Every choice, every interaction, every creative impulse arises from a coherence that doesn't need validation or proof. Creativity flourishes in ways that defy linear logic. Solutions come as flashes of knowing rather than processes of deduction. A song, a vision, an idea blooms fully formed, requiring less effort to translate into reality. The more you trust the origin of inspiration, the less you worry about the outcome. You begin to understand that creation isn't something you make happen. It's something you allow to flow through you. And as creativity flows, gratitude deepens. Not the kind of gratitude born from forcing positivity, but the effortless kind that arises when you witness the precision of life's unfolding. Even small, ordinary moments take on a sacred weight. The way sunlight lands on a windowsill, the quiet cadence of footsteps, the breath between words in a conversation. Awareness stretches outward and inward simultaneously, revealing beauty, hidden in plain sight. With time, you notice the boundary between the observer and the observed dissolving completely. You no longer look for signs, because you are the sign. The field reflects you, but it also expresses as you, awareness, folding in on itself, creating and perceiving in the same eternal motion. This is where separation finally dissolves into unity, where the self becomes less of an I and more of a we, inseparable from the whole. And yet, paradoxically, your individuality doesn't disappear here. Instead, it becomes illuminated. Freed from the weight of comparison and performance, you express more of your authentic self than ever before, not because you're trying, but because there's nothing left to hide. Every action, every creation, every word becomes an extension of coherence, rooted in resonance rather than fear. Part 5 carries you to the edge of a deeper realization. That all along, the field wasn't something to reach for, the frequency wasn't something to achieve, and alignment wasn't something to practice. They've always been your natural state, patiently waiting beneath layers of distraction and forgetting. You haven't stepped into something new. You've returned to what has always been true. From here, the path ahead isn't about seeking, but embodying. It isn't about finding meaning, but allowing meaning to arise. It isn't about manifesting a reality, but remembering that you are already co-creating it with every breath, every thought, every subtle shift of awareness dot. And as Part 5 draws to a close, the story prepares to rest. Yet you sense it isn't an ending at all. It's the beginning of living this awareness fully, carrying it not just into quiet meditations, but into conversations, relationships, choices, and creations. The field doesn't wait for you somewhere else. It meets you here, always in this unfolding moment. You've traveled far within this unfolding journey, but something inside you knows the real destination was never about arriving somewhere new. Instead, it was about uncovering what was always here, hidden beneath layers of distraction, resistance, and forgetting. As this deeper awareness stabilizes, life begins to feel less like a path you're walking and more like a current you've surrendered into, one carrying you exactly where you're meant to go without effort. This is where presence matures into embodiment. You no longer visit states of stillness during quiet moments. You carry them with you, like an undercurrent beneath everything you do. Even amid chaos, there's a steady rhythm pulsing within, a coherence your body now recognizes instinctively. No matter where you are, no matter what unfolds, you sense this hum of awareness vibrating quietly beneath all experience, guiding you without words. The separation between inner and outer reality begins to dissolve entirely. You notice it in subtle ways first. The way your breath syncs with the pace of the world around you. The way you sense conversations before they unfold. The way a thought appears in your mind just moments before someone speaks it aloud. At first, these synchronicities feel magical, almost impossible. But with time, they become natural, simply the mechanics of an interconnected field you've always been part of. Your perception sharpens here, but not in the way you expect. It isn't about heightened mental activity or endless analysis. It's about deepening into awareness itself. Sounds seem richer, carrying textures you didn't notice before. Colors appear softer, yet more vibrant, layered with subtle warmth. You feel the atmosphere of rooms shift when someone enters, sensing intentions before words are spoken. This isn't mysticism. It's attunement. Your nervous system recalibrated to perceive the finer currents moving through life. Even your relationship with time transforms. Where once you measured progress through deadlines and milestones, now you experience time as something more fluid, less linear. Some moments stretch endlessly, carrying entire lifetimes of insight within them. Others pass gently, like whispers fading into silence. You begin to trust this flow without needing to control it, recognizing that your alignment with the present moment always brings you precisely where you need to be. The body, too, reveals new layers of intelligence. Long-held patterns of tension continue dissolving in waves, replaced by sensations of lightness, warmth, and vitality. Breathing becomes not just an unconscious act, but a living dialogue between you and the field. Each inhale feels like receiving, each exhale like offering, a balanced exchange between self and existence. In this harmony, even your cells seem to hum differently, carrying the quiet memory of safety you once thought was lost. And yet, integration is not without its challenges. As your awareness deepens, shadows still rise. Old fears, unprocessed grief, ancestral echoes you've unknowingly carried. But now you meet them differently. Instead of resisting, you allow. Instead of collapsing into them, you witness them. Each time you choose compassion over control, the energy locked in those patterns begins to release, creating space for new dimensions of yourself to emerge. You realize now that these waves are not interruptions to your evolution. They are your evolution. They are your evolution. The body's trembling. It tears without reason. The moments of vulnerability you once avoided. All of it is your system reorganizing, shedding density, calibrating to higher coherence. You stop asking, when will this end? And begin trusting. This is part of becoming dot in this expanded awareness. Creativity deepens into something sacred. Ideas no longer feel like products of thought, but transmissions from a larger intelligence moving through you. They arrive as sensations first, as whispers carried by intuition, as visions appearing fully formed behind closed eyes. When you act on them, you feel less like an inventor and more like a translator, giving shape to something that already exists in the field. And the more you create from this space, the more reality seems to respond. You send out a vibration, and the field mirrors it back with uncanny precision. You express gratitude, and more arrives to be grateful for. You extend compassion, and pathways open effortlessly. Life stops being something to manipulate or manage. It becomes a partner in co-creation, responding to the signal you embody rather than the effort you exert. Relationships flourish here in entirely new ways. With your nervous system anchored in safety, you no longer seek connection from scarcity or fear. You connect because connection itself becomes the natural extension of your coherence. Shared silences hold more meaning than words once did. Conversations deepen without effort, carrying a resonance that transcends language. You find yourself surrounded more often by those who mirror your alignment. And when separation occurs, it happens without resistance or pain, like leaves falling naturally. From a tree when their season has passed, your sense of purpose stabilizes as well, shifting from something external to something intrinsic. No longer a destination to reach, purpose becomes a quality of presence, expressed through every action, no matter how ordinary. Even the smallest choices, preparing a meal, writing a sentence, offering a smile, feel infused with meaning, not because of their outcome, but because of the coherence behind them. This embodied purpose invites you into a deeper trust of life itself. Where you once sought control, you now sense collaboration. Where you once fought uncertainty, you now find curiosity. Even challenges become invitations, carrying intelligence you can feel beneath their surface. You stop seeing obstacles as interruptions and begin recognizing them as thresholds, doorways into new levels of alignment. And then comes the most subtle yet profound realization of all. You no longer need to seek connection with the field because you've remembered. You were never separate from it. Every breath is a conversation. Every sensation is a signal. Every unfolding moment is both the question and the answer, happening within you and through you simultaneously. Part 6 rests here, at the edge of full embodiment, a threshold where awareness no longer feels like something you touch occasionally, but something you are. Beyond this point, the journey isn't about learning more or becoming better. It's about living what you've already discovered, carrying this coherence into every interaction, every creation, every quiet moment of simply being. And now, as this journey settles into silence, you sense the truth that's been unfolding all along. There was never anything to reach, nowhere else to arrive, nothing missing from who you are. The field you've been seeking was never outside you. It has always been moving through your breath, your heartbeat, your awareness. Every shift, every moment of release, every quiet awakening has brought you back here, to this simple presence, where life flows effortlessly and meaning arises naturally. You no longer chase alignment because you are alignment. You no longer search for purpose because you embody it with every choice, every word, every subtle intention. The synchronicities, the whispers, the patterns, they've led you home, not to somewhere new, but to the depth of yourself you'd forgotten to notice. And as you rest here, soft and open, the invitation unfolds gently. Carry this coherence with you into your conversations, your creations, your quiet pauses. Let life speak through you and allow yourself to listen. Subscribe to our channel so we can meet again next time. Other stories are waiting for you, and so is the deeper remembering of who you truly are.